Do you ever feel like life is moving way too fast for you to keep up with? Me too. Welcome back to the channel. And today I want to talk about something that we all face and all go through at some point in our life: change. I'm on my way to go sign the lease to my new little apartment I'm going to be staying in, a little studio apartment, just me and my bunnies. I'm super fearful, I'm uncertain about what's to come in the future, but you know what? I just want to put my faith in God, and I just want to trust in His plan for me, that this new chapter of my life is something that I have been needing to, deal with and overcome for a long part of my life. So I'm really hoping that it'll be something good for me. I'm really looking forward to what's to come, of all the content that I'm going to be able to create in this apartment. First time I'm ever having to do this on my own, so I'm just kind of hoping things work out. Here's to the future. We'll see what happens. I'm about to get these keys and sign the lease, and then it's official. So let's go get that taken care of. I just got the keys to my new apartment, and I also just signed my lease. I know that with change, there's always going to be challenges that we'll end up being faced with. And it's really a matter of how we react and how we let these things define us that determine how we get through certain situations. And I know that it's going to be a struggle because I'm doing this all on my own this time. I'm used to having someone else that's going to be there to help me, and that's called codependency. And I don't want to be codependent anymore, you know what I mean? I'm really excited to see what's in store for me, to see what's to come creatively, and I'm really excited to continue, posting YouTube videos and making content and just sharing my experience with the world. I'm hoping that this will kind of alleviate the need to continue to use my iPhone audio because it's bad. My last day in my parents' house, I'm gonna be packing up all my stuff, bringing it all into my new apartment. It's a little studio, it's really small, and it's a new chapter for me, and I'm not gonna lie, but I'm pretty nervous and scared about what's to come, but I'm also excited and I'm also eager. I'd really like to exploit this new chapter of my life in order to make YouTube videos. Basically to bring forth a relatable experience to others. Maybe some people might be going through something similar, living with their parents and not necessarily wanting to live with their parents, but having to because they need to wait for a place to be ready. There's just so many things in life that, become obstacles for us, and we often allow ourselves to allow these things to basically stop us in our track, to completely eradicate our motivation, to basically alleviate us of the need to feel as though we need to continue moving forward in order to get to a different and better place in our life, and that's where depression and things that the devil will tempt us with to basically cloud our judgment and to cloud our ability to realize that we are capable of getting out of this hole that we are in. Finally got everything here, including my bunnies. It's like 12 a.m. to be at work super early. Kinda got things situated for the most part. I haven't eaten all day. I'm gonna go get some McDonald's real quick or something. I know it's really loud. I don't have my mic or my tripod, but I just brought this couch in from my car. I couldn't fit it in my car at first. I had to cut the box open and put the couch in and then go back into Walmart and ask them if they wanted me to keep the box just in case I needed to return it. And they were like, yeah, keep the box. Then I had to fit the box in my car too. Super excited because I have been sleeping on the floor for the last like 2 weeks. Been a little over 2 weeks now since I've been in this apartment. Never really been a big fan of changes, going on in my life. I've always been accustomed to things just kind of staying the same and being comfortable with that familiarity. And I've never really been one to believe in my capability of breaking outside of my comfort zone or, living life differently than I have basically my whole life. And often when I think of, changes in my life, it sometimes brings fear to me because I'm fearful of what can happen in the future. I'm fearful of the possibilities of losing a job or losing my ability to pay a car or losing relationships. I'm fearful of losing a person or a person's love for me because I grew up, always seeking a sense of love through whatever it was that I was trying to get my hands on that could give me that feeling of love. Over time, as I grew up, I really let myself become dependent on certain things that would provide me with certain feelings because I was afraid and fearful of changes. I often think of two questions that I ask myself every single time. And those two questions are, what are you afraid of? Why are you afraid? When it comes to asking myself, what am I scared of? It would be that I'm scared of failing, that I'm scared of, having to pack up my stuff and move back in with my mom, or that my car would get repossessed because I lose my job, or just realistic things that could happen in life. But honestly, the only reason those things would ever come to fruition is if I just truly allowed myself to fail. As far as working my job goes, as far as doing side hustles, doing YouTube, it's really just about being committed every single day, waking up and realizing that the only person that's going to have your back in that moment or in that day is going to be you and God. As far as the question, why are you scared? That's a little bit more complex for me personally to answer, because genuinely just always felt like I've had that feeling of fear in my heart as far as going out into the world and experiencing change. Just like everyone else, if you're like me and you endured certain problems in your life as a kid but didn't get answers for them until you were a lot older, the reason why you might be scared of certain changes in your life could be because of certain things that you've gone through as a kid that you never really got answers for, growing up. So you had to learn and develop and recognize these problems and these answers as you grow older and become an adult. While you're doing that, you're also stuck facing adult problems. So you develop all kinds of different reasons why you would be scared of change in your life. But the point of this video is that I didn't allow those things to continually determine how I was gonna live my life. Like I said, I'm 31 years old now, and although it did take me some time to really get off my butt and stay committed to making videos and stay committed to doing things that I love doing outside of, all of those dependent relationships I was in that basically altered and clouded my ability to realize what it was I really wanted to do. I was putting them forward before anything else. Like I said, for me, that was one of the biggest changes I had to face. If I hadn't have gone through my most recent relationship and probably the hardest breakup I would have ever gone through, I would have never recognized how much more capable I am of doing these things for myself that I love doing on my own. I never really needed someone to be there to believe in me or to back me up or to have faith in my dreams and my aspirations. I've always looked up to every person that was in my life in that relationship aspect. It was almost a sense of obligation I felt for them to look at my work, to listen to my music, or whatever it was I was bringing forth at that time in my life, and to seek that reassurance from that person. I wasn't used to looking at my own work and feeling so confident. I always had to be reassured from another person, and this was because of that codependency I developed throughout hopping through all those relationships, basically seeking some sense of love I never got as a kid. And I know a lot of us can relate to this. A lot of us can relate to being fearful of changes that go on in our lives, or being afraid of what can change or why these things would change. And I know a lot of us also have this fear of the outcome of the changes. So I just wanted to make this video basically talking about overcoming those changes and to share my experience with you guys, and just hope that it can really resonate with you and allow you to feel not so alone in this world when it can sometimes get really lonely. Living alone has really taught me a lot about myself. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's that it's okay to be alone, to do things on your own, and to discover who you are outside of relationships, outside of things that you do because of another person. For me personally, I've always been someone who's been dependent on another person to make me feel like I have a value in this world, which honestly is really sad because I'm 31 years old now, and the last 5-6 years I was in a relationship with somebody who I believed really truly loved and cared about me. But deep down, everybody has the capability to show you differently. And that's where my problem with change always derived from, was my lack of love growing up, from my parents, because they were doing their own thing and struggling to live life on their own. And I'm not judging or condemning them for that. That's not at all what I'm doing or saying, because of their lack of ability to provide me with emotional foundation that I needed as a child. I grew up seeking that in all kinds of different ways. And one of those ways primarily was through relationships. I would literally hop in and out of relationships just to seek and find that feeling that I felt like I lacked growing up as a kid. And so as an adult, when you are unable to hold on to those things that give you that feeling, they really give you a sense of, feeling lost or empty or, uneager for the changes that come with letting go of a relationship or this person or that thing that might bring you that feeling that you're so accustomed to. And this is why I feel like it's just important to always remember, throughout our lives, throughout our developing needs to feel someone else's love so that we can feel valuable in this life. Changes that come along with things that go on in our life will always have obstacles that we end up facing. And it's always gonna be up to us to recognize that these obstacles that we face throughout these changes that we go through in life don't have to be a determining factor in your ability to continue moving forward in your life. I'm no longer a child. I no longer have people to stand around and hold my hand or to push me forward. Change isn't always so hard. I'm really eager to see what's to come next for me in this chapter of my life and on this journey. Glad that you guys are here to be a part of it. Thank you for watching, and until next time, be blessed, stay blessed.